It's recording.
Okay, welcome to DC Shorts International Film Festival's 2020 Screenplay Competition. I'm Peter Morgan, the DC Shorts Executive Director. Thank you all very much for being here this evening. This year's festival is all online, as you know. DC Shorts is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to champion short films and filmmakers, which include screenwriters. So despite COVID-19, we're very excited to continue the tradition of the screenplay competition because it highlights and champions screenwriters like the 5 very talented individuals we have here this evening. I'd also like to thank one of our major funders, the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. DC Shorts 2020 is screening 163 films in 20 showcases from 34 countries. So if you haven't already, please check out dcshorts.com, look at the showcases, purchase tickets, and enjoy. With that, I will pass you over to Joe Balancio, DC Shorts Director of Programming.
Hey, you DC Shorters, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have you with us. I apologize to our screenwriters that we unfortunately can't have you in person, but we feel the love through the screen. So thank you for all you do, Josh, Sara, Logan, Lisa, Jeffrey. You're wonderful and talented scripts. I'm so excited for everybody to hear all about them. As Peter said, the festival just started, so you have till the 23rd to enjoy all of the films that we offer. So go to dcshorts.com, tell all your friends, join us on social media posts as well. As Peter mentioned, 163 films, 20 showcases, 11 world premieres. So we're just very, very excited about the festival itself. I want to give you a quick background of what we've done in the past. It's always one of the really, really fun activities, the DC Short Screenplay Competition, because it's like guerrilla screenplay. The screenplays are written, and we usually get about 100 people submit their work. We cut those down to 12, and then a panel goes through them with a fine-tooth comb, and we come up with the 6 finalists this year. There's 5 finalists. And then what we would do is we would cast in the morning. We would give a 2-hour window for a rehearsal. At night, we would have the live readings. And then after that, we would grant a winner. So it was really done, for the most part, in 24 hours. And it was just really, really fun. We had the same people sort of come and perform and be the actors. And so it was like everybody would really, sort of just appreciate the day because they got to see each other again. It was just really a neat sort of environment. And we could highlight the actors in DC because it really is a phenomenal, amount of energy and amount of work and really good work that people are doing. So unfortunately we don't have that, but again, we adapt and we made it happen. It was still really important for us to be able to do something and to do something live. And that's sort of what you have here. So we'll be talking to each of the screenwriters briefly. We'll have them do their live reading. And again, I can't wait for you to have that. And then these will sort of live in social media land, and you will be able to vote after the event tonight, as well as up to Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we'll announce Thursday at noon who the actual winner was, and they get a $2,000 prize. So we're very excited to be able to do that. Hopefully, it's not always that these films or these screenplays get turned into films, and we just hope that they do, and not only the winner, but all the others, because they're really, really, really good. So that's enough about me. I will bring to the screen Hugh Heisel, Tony Award-winning actor, producer, and just an all-around good guy. I've learned a little bit about him in the last couple of minutes. So thank you, Hugh, for being here, and we appreciate it, and take it away.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here. Welcome, everybody, to the DC Shorts International.
Here, a little bit wider on this top, and
Hello.
just look from 2 destinations.
Hello.
Just from these 2 destinations, you can see how the hand changes.
Okay.
Just from that.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Whatever that was. Welcome to DC Shorts International Film Festival's annual screenplay competition. I'm really, really happy to be here as your host. In order to make it easy breezy for you to see the cast of each short as they read it, I'm going to ask you for your own good to turn off, to go to your video settings, and you can actually turn off the ability to see people who don't have their video on. So as we do each of the readings, the people with their video on will be the people participating in that cast, and you won't see a lot of other people on your screen. You can really focus on each of the pieces as we go. So if you're on a desktop or a laptop, go to the bottom of your screen and hover over the stop video. Then on the little arrow, go to video settings and click on that. And then you're going to get a number of options. There's going to be a line that says hide non-video participants. You're going to click on that. And that will make everybody disappear who has their video off, all the other the participants who are watching, like yourself, and all the cast members who are waiting to entertain you. So if you do that, it might enliven and enrich the experience for yourself, okay? Yay. So first, I would like to introduce the first of the 5 screenwriters we're going to be presenting tonight, Josh Madden and his screenplay, Roadrunner. Josh, where are you? Come on back. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
Hello. So tell me about Roadrunner and what inspired it.
Roadrunner was an example. I like to use it as an example of people, to tell people, write everything down that you think of. So if you remember a story from childhood, jot it down. Because the situation was, I was in a screenwriting contest where you don't know what you're going to write about until they tell you. They give you a character and a theme and a genre. So I had no idea what to write about. It said you need to write a political satire with a character of a lawyer, and the theme is gullibility. So I scrolled through my phone until I saw this one little note that reminded me of this Roadrunner story from my childhood, and it just came from there.
Roadrunner as in the cartoon, or the
in this case, you'll hear the story at the beginning of the script. The lawyer that's telling this story, this is pretty much something that happened directly to me.
Oh, okay, excellent. Now I noticed I happen to have been able to see the character breakdown before this evening, and I noticed that at least one of the characters is from the South. I hear a little lilt in
Right.
your voice. Where's the set, or is where is it?
There's no particular setting. I did state that the lawyer does have a Southern accent because it kind of fit with my story, more of a country story. But yeah, I'm in Louisiana right now, so Central Time. We're fighting pandemics and hurricanes right now.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness. So is it set in the South, or is this character from the South?
It's kind of set all over. This script is more the lead character of the story is really this little tale and how it gets passed along through different people until it becomes this thing that's so much larger than it was to begin with. So it's basically talking about how something that can be very innocuous can suddenly be grabbed and used politically, and now it means something before it never meant anything, you know.
Right. That is so true. That is so
Right.
true. Would you like to introduce your cast?
I would love to introduce my cast. You know what? I am at a small loss right now because I don't have the cast list in front of me. And I have a large cast for my script. There are about
The entire cast turn the video on, and you'll appear.
right. So yeah, I guess we'll just as we're going along, you will meet the cast. I know we have Marcellus as the lawyer, Christina as the woman, and a host of other characters because there are about 16 speaking parts in this. So I thank all the cast, and I wish I had their names in front of me right now to list them all. But we will. I'll definitely show them some respect when this is over. So.
Excellent. Can I share what you wrote about the lawyer in terms of the character breakdown?
Sure. Go ahead.
Will that offend? Okay. So, which I thought this was really rich. In the character breakdown, it says the lawyer, who's being played by Marcellus, Southern working class, more shit kicker than Rhett Butler.
Right.
I think that's fabulous writing, and says a lot too. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where this goes. All right, so I'm going to hand it off to you, and you can begin the table read.
All right. Roadrunner. Fade in, over black, superimpose. The word gullible is not in the dictionary. The world is made up of three types of people. Those who accept that as truth, those who are smart enough to know better, and those who grab a dictionary and flip to the G's. You can also go to merriam-webster.com and check. Go ahead, I'll wait.
When I was a kid, I was walking along this fence row. I must have been 11 or 12.
Fade to interior airport lounge, afternoon. A hand sets an empty scotch glass on the bar, waves to the bartender, and points at the glass indicating another round. We slowly pull back as he continues the story.
Anyway, I heard this strange little sound, and I looked over and saw this bird stuck in the fence. Its little legs were kicking a little bit like it was still trying to get out. But the thing was obviously stuck pretty good. So I walked over to get a closer look at it because it was kind of weird looking. His little chest was jumping up and down like his heart must have been beating a mile a minute.
The bartender comes over and pours him another drink. The lawyer is in his mid-40s and a little rough around the edges. He is talking to a woman, late 20s, sitting next to him.
Well, I didn't want to see the little guy suffer, so I reached down and started to untangle him from the wire. At first, I thought he might peck me or something, but he stayed as still as he could be while I got him loose. And as soon as I pulled his head around from that last bit of fence wire, he took off.
The lawyer looks squarely at the woman.
Running.
The woman looks curiously back at him. The lawyer keeps staring at her, dead serious now.
The son of a bitch was a road runner.
The woman chuckles with amusement.
You ever seen one of them before?
The woman shakes her head.
Me neither. That's why it looks so weird to me. And here's the crazy part. You know what that fence was around?
What?
A coyote pen. If I'd have just left him alone, the coyote would have finally got that goddamn road runner.
They both laugh.
Wait, what's a coyote pen?
My granddaddy used to hunt coyotes. Kind of like fox hunting, but they didn't ride horses or wear them dumbass looking hats, you know? Anyway, he let his hounds out and they catch the trail of a coyote and he'd jump in his truck and follow the sound of their howling till they catch it.
What happened when they caught it?
You ever seen a dog play with one of those squeaky toys?
Oh,
A couple of times a year, Granddaddy would get together with the other hunters in the state and they go to one of those pens where they kept a few coyotes. It was probably a couple thousand acres or so. I went with them a time or two. They sit around the campfires and drink and listen to them hounds chasing them around. That coyote sure would have got that damn roadrunner if I'd have just left him alone. Love that story. You know, I tell it all the time.
it's a good story.
Great story. And you know what's great about it?
The woman looks over at him as she waits for him to answer his own question. The bartender pours another drink for him.
It could mean whatever you want it to mean.
I didn't think it really meant anything.
Because you didn't have any context. You know, I told that story yesterday in a closing argument. Embezzlement case. Guy was guilty as hell, but he had a damn good lawyer. Almost got off. But I guarantee you that Roadrunner story won it for me.
How's that?
We all grew up watching cartoons, you know. It's like the great equalizer. White, black, Hispanic, Eskimo, Indian. You mention that Roadrunner, and then you mention that coyote, and they all smile because they know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't get it.
Listen, when you think about a cartoon, you think about being a kid. Things were simpler then, black and white, right and wrong. It takes away the gray area out of the equation, the reasonable doubt.
The woman looks skeptical.
Look, if I paint the guy out to be the road runner and I give you a little push to make you root for the coyote, then I got you. I mean, we all really did kind of root for the coyote. It's an underdog thing. Must have seen him blow himself up or run into a rock or something at least 1,000 times. Hell, we all would love to see him finally catch that bastard.
The woman shrugs. She can sort of see the point. The sound of an announcement comes over the airport PA, and the woman turns to listen.
Now boarding flight 1357 at gate 26.
Well, look, on the flip side, if I make the guy out to be the coyote, wily and devious, but destined to fail, to see him go down would be to see the normal order of the universe. That's actually the way I went. He didn't stand a chance.
The lawyer holds up his hand to flag the bartender down again. The woman puts her purse over her shoulder.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Where you going? I was just about to order another round. Amaretto sour, right?
That was my flight they just announced.
Oh, well, maybe I'll catch you coming through some other time. Where you headed anyway?
DC.
Watch your pocketbook.
The lawyer cackles at his own joke. She smiles politely.
Have a nice trip.
The lawyer gives her a wave of dismissal, and she turns and walks away. Interior airport gate. Moments later, the woman gives her boarding pass to the flight attendant and walks down the ramp toward the plane. Interior, plane, night. We track down the aisle past passengers dozing and reading to find the woman sitting in a first-class seat. Her laptop is open on her tray. She is typing away for a moment and then stops, seeming to be unsure of what to write. Then a strange smile comes across her face, and she chuckles to herself before resuming typing. Interior, large warehouse, day. The candidate, male, late 40s, stands at the podium in front of a gathering of several hundred blue-collar workers.
So we've all got to realize that when we have an opportunity like this staring at us in the face, we can't allow ourselves to pass it by. If I would have let that little roadrunner caught in that fence, that coyote would have finally got him.
The workers are totally engrossed in the story.
You see, that roadrunner is like immigration reform. That coyote is Jerry Patrick.
One of the workers in the crowd smiles and nods in agreement.
We're not going to let that coyote kill our roadrunner, are we?
No.
No.
Are we?
No.
The crowd cheers. Interior, large warehouse. Later, the crowd has dispersed. The candidate is shaking hands with the last few people still there.
Thanks again, Jim. You can tell Patty I'll take a rain check on that lobster bisque.
The candidate slaps Jim on the shoulder, points at him with seriousness.
And I mean that.
Candidate breaks into a wide grin.
Yes, sir. You just say when.
One of the candidate's aides, Roger Dawes, early 30s and rather anxious, stands nearby. The candidate turns to him.
Roger, are you ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, I'll see you soon. You all drive safe.
The men wave goodbye as the candidate walks away with Roger toward the back of the stage.
We have the playbook ready for you to listen to in the car.
Great. They really like that damn Roadrunner bit. Who came up with that?
I believe that was Stacy, sir.
It's pretty folksy for Stacy.
Exterior, large warehouse, continuous. They approach the SUVs parked just outside the large bay doors of the warehouse. A woman is standing with her back to them by the car. She is on the phone.
Stacy.
She turns around and we see she is the same woman from the airport lounge.
Where'd you get that Roadrunner story?
Uh-huh.
Stacy holds up a finger as she continues her conversation. The candidate and Roger get into the car.
We'll just try it again on the next one and see if it sticks.
Stacy gets in the car. Interior, car, continuous.
All right, Donna. See you tomorrow.
Stacy ends the call, shuts her door. The car starts moving.
Where'd you get the Roadrunner story?
They really liked it, didn't they?
They ate it up.
I think we can still massage it a little more. I don't know if immigration reform is the best use for it, but they definitely loved it when you called Jerry the coyote.
You know what's crazy? I always used to kind of root for the coyote.
Stacy chuckles and Roger forces a laugh. He's obviously the candidate's yes man. Exterior, Jerry Patrick's campaign headquarters, day. It's a small building on a mostly deserted main street. A car pulls up to the curb. Interior, Jerry Patrick's campaign headquarters, continuous. The place is buzzing. Several volunteers are on phones, and the room is festooned with campaign signs and posters. A man on a cell phone walks in the front door at a fast clip. This is Russell Mackey, early 40s.
Yeah, I'm about to show it to them.
Russell puts the phone away.
Oh, hey!
Several faces in the room look toward him. Russell nods for a couple of them to follow him into his office.
Let you know as soon as we get a game plan. All right.
Russell ends the call and closes the office door behind Kristen and Tom, who have just followed him in.
You gotta see this.
Russell pulls up a video on his phone and holds it up for them. On screen, the candidate is in front of a larger group than before. They're cheering loudly, and he has to wait for them to quiet down before he can resume speaking.
That's right. And if old Coyote Jerry comes after our rights again, I think I know what we're going to tell him.
Beep, beep, beep,
I didn't hear you. What are you going to tell him?
Beep, beep.
On screen, the crowd cheers, and the candidate holds his arms up victoriously. They continue to chant, beep, beep. The video ends, and Russell sets the phone on his desk.
What the hell?
When did this start?
A couple days ago. They already have t-shirts of Jerry's face on the coyote's body while he holds up a sign that says, "I didn't really think this through."
Well, what are we going to do?
I say we embrace it. I think half the people root for the coyote anyway.
Really?
Hold on.
Russell opens the office door and steps out. Main room continuous.
Hey, can I have everyone's attention?
The volunteers quickly stop talking and look at Russell.
You've all seen these Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons, right?
They all give slightly confused nods.
How many of you rooted for the coyote?
About half of the volunteers slowly raise their hands. Russell surveys the room a moment. Interior, TV studio, night. A TV host sits behind a desk opposite a male guest and a female guest.
And now he's saying the Roadrunner is gun legislation? What does that even mean?
Beep, beep, Wendy, beep, beep.
No, wait a minute. I think we do need to acknowledge Jerry Patrick is fine with being referred to as the coyote. He said it himself. He's determined. He's willing and capable to take the psychological punishment of the job. He's hungry for change.
Most of the country is hungry for change.
Exterior, city street, day. Two groups of protesters are facing off on opposite sides of the street. One side is pro-coyote, the other is pro-roadrunner. They have colorful signs and cartoonish props.
Just run away! That's all you know how to do anyway.
Acme called. They want their brains back.
Tempers reach their peak, and one of the pro-coyote protesters throws a small rubber anvil across the street. It strikes a man in the head, and he falls to the ground. The pro-roadrunner protesters charge, and a melee ensues. Interior courtroom, day. A defense attorney is addressing the jury.
So it's very simple. I ask that you just revisit all of the testimony and evidence, and you'll plainly see that Davin Tucker is innocent. Thank you.
The defense attorney walks back to her seat. The prosecuting attorney is our lawyer from the airport lounge. He smugly stands and walks toward the jury. He stands in front of them for a moment, seemingly in deep reflection.
When I was just a kid, I was walking along this fence row, and all of a sudden I heard this strange little sound. I looked over and saw this weird looking little bird stuck in the wire. I didn't want to see the little thing suffer, so I walked over and untangled it. And when I finally got it loose, I stood there and watched it take off, running.
The lawyer looks over the jury, really milking it.
It was a road runner. That's why it looked so weird. I'd never seen one before. And you know what makes the story even crazier? The fence he was stuck in was around a coyote pen. If I hadn't gotten him out, that old coyote would have finally got the road runner.
The lawyer smiles at the jury, but he is surprised to see only half of the faces are smiling back.
You see, that coyote is, he's like Davin Tucker here.
Excuse me. The lawyer points to the accused and then looks back at the jury. Some of the frowns are really throwing him off now.
And the road runner, he's like...
The lawyer stops and stares at one of the jurors who is smiling. He sees the juror is wearing a little metal button on his lapel that says, beep, beep. The lawyer looks like a deer in the headlights. He is completely confused. Fade out.
Yay, yay, very well done. That was really enjoyable. Congratulations, guys. Lovely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, if you would turn your video off so we can move on to the next one, maybe, and stick around, please. Thank you very much. So I would like to introduce now the second of our 5 screenwriters, Sara Hallowell, and her screenplay, Hello, I Must Be Going. Hello, Sara.
Hi, Hugh.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
Now that everybody is here, we're all set.
I love the green background. It's really great. So tell me about Hello, I Must Be Going and what inspired it.
I grew up in Los Angeles with my mother, Ellen Kaplan, who actually is listening. And this is sort of a little, I guess, a Hollywood fairy tale about she and me, and it's based on a true story. And I don't want to tell too much about it because I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
But I did want to say my cast was incredible, and trying to get everybody together. I really just want to thank them really quickly. Rupert Hitzig, Aidan Hughes, Melanie Lawrence, Arabella Field, Aidan Ellis, Addie Ellis, Jim Ruwalt, Bodie Ruskin, and Sophia Cepetto. They're all rockin' actors, and I'm really lucky to have them.
Terrific. All right, well, we will send it off to you, and we'll see you at the other end.
Okay, thank you. Does everybody have, unmute your, everybody unmute, all my actors. Everybody unmuted, yes?
Yep.
Okay, gang, let's rock and roll. Hello, I Must Be Going by Sara Hallowell. Fade in, super, 1977.
That is nothing at all. I'm only slipped away into the next room. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still.
Slow pan across the Hollywood sign.
I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well, nothing is lost.
Exterior street, day. In a quiet West Hollywood neighborhood, a cozy California bungalow.
One brief moment, and everything will be as it was. Only better, infinitely happier and forever.
Up a narrow driveway, through a wooden gate. Exterior, backyard, afternoon. Children attend a pet funeral in progress. They stand around a small hole in the ground with a rock as a headstone. Close-up rock, in red nail polish. Tweety, one swell bird. The speaker, Tess, closes her prayer book.
Go in peace. Amen.
The boys and girls watch Tess's best friend, Dana, fill the hole with dirt. Among the mourners, Aiden mops his eyes with his sleeve.
Okay, it's done. Taking blow pops on the patio, you guys.
The kids stampede off. Dana collars Aiden.
Not so fast. Cough it up, Aiden.
He digs in his pockets, hands them a wad of balled up singles. Exterior sidewalk next morning. Tess walks her Shih Tzu down the sidewalk. Her neighbor, Julius, retrieves his newspaper at the end of his driveway.
Hiya, kiddo.
How you doing, Julius?
I'm still above ground. Why are you walking that cat?
If I told you once, I told you a million times. It's a dog.
Nobody's perfect.
He winks. She winks back. It's their bit. A redhead shouts from inside his house.
Hurry up, mister. I have an audition.
Oh, coming down. See ya, kid.
He sighs, shuffles back up the driveway. Interior school day. Tess shoves books into her locker. Taped inside the door, a collage of Groucho Marx photos. A mean girl points.
Gross. Who's that? Only the greatest comedian of all time.
She slams the locker shut.
Loser. Moron.
Exterior Hollywood Boulevard. Afternoon. Riffraff smoke butts outside Cherokee Bookshop. Comic Book Central to serious collectors. Interior bookshop. Upstairs, the owner, Art, practices flute behind the counter. Tess flips through stacks of comics as Dana approaches the register.
Yo, Art.
What do you want?
Bring me up, would you please?
Lucky you said please.
With a grand sigh, he sets down his instrument, moves to the register.
Alrighty, let's see what you got. Little Lulu 155, Archie 260.
This one's got a spiral. The other one has edge wear.
Why do you think they're priced so cheap? Take them or leave them. As low as I go.
Fine, deal.
$6.50.
He hands him 7 crumpled bills. Joining them, Tess points to a poster behind the counter.
What's all that about?
Marx Brothers contest.
What do you get if you win?
How should I know?
Can I please see? Up close?
Art unpins the poster from the wall, lays it on the counter.
The winner gets tickets to a Marx Brothers retrospective at MGM Studios, escorted by Groucho himself! Awesome? That's what it says. No way. Way!
Dana runs her finger along a stack of cards attached to the poster.
How many cards are we allowed to take?
I don't give a shit. Get him out of my hair.
Dana peels off the stack.
If anybody deserves to win, it's you, Tess.
Interior Tess's bedroom night. A fan oscillates. A Foreigner record spins on the turntable.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Lying on shag carpet, Tess and Dana fill out postcards, lick stamps.
I'm boiling to death. Me too.
Tess leaps to her feet, opens the window. Despite his arthritic hands, Julius clips cabbage roses in the alley between the houses.
And snails.
Julius!
Humming toots.
Tess watches with concern as Julius huffs and puffs through a side door with his bouquet. Exterior street corner another day. Tess and Dana push their contest cards through a mail slot in a mailbox. They kiss their hands, slap the mailbox for luck. Montage. Every day after school, Tess crosses herself, opens her own mailbox, peeks inside. Exterior Tess's bungalow another day. On her stoop, Tess flips through her mail.
Hey, Tessie.
Oh, hi, Julius.
Do me a favor.
Sure thing.
What does this letter say?
Current resident.
Junk. Nuts.
Where are your glasses?
Julius!
Oh, she stepped on them.
Like on purpose?
How long does it take to go to the mailbox?
Don't worry, kid, you get used to it. Don't worry, kid, you get used to it.
Really?
Like a man hanging.
You're awful funny.
I know.
He bustles back up the driveway. Interior bedroom night. On her mom's queen-size bed, Tess eats a Swanson TV dinner in front of the television. The front door slams. Tess bursts out laughing.
Tess?
And here, Mom.
Are you eating your dinner?
Yeah.
Don't spill on my new comforter.
Moments later, Tess's mom, Diane, pads into the bedroom with a glass of wine on ice.
The restaurant was crazy. How was school?
Awful, as usual.
Diane looks at the TV. On screen, fast-talking Groucho infuriates a stuffy soprano in Animal Crackers. Hello, I must be going. I cannot stay. I came to say I must be going. I'm glad I came, but just the same, I must be going. La la. Drawn in, Diane settles on the bed next to Tess. They watch the comedy together, letting Groucho wash away the worries of the day. Exterior Tess's house, morning. Tess drops a trash bag into an aluminum garbage can. Over the hedge, she notices Julius, sitting, hunched on his stoop. Exterior Julius's stoop. Julius smokes a cigar, dabs his eyes with a hanky. Tess drops down next to him.
Hey, what's going on?
Why aren't you in school?
It's Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know whether it's Thursday or it's raining.
Are you okay?
Yeah, a friend of mine died.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Who was it?
Spot.
Unusual name for a man.
Spot was a fish. Hypostomus placostomus.
He blows smoke into the air. Dissolved to past, interior Julius's kitchen. Spot swims happily inside his fish tank.
He was a very special pet, a most delightful spirit. Stick your hand in the tank, he'd swim right over to it and sit down on it.
Close up, red nails tap the glass hard.
But the old ball and chain, she's makes such a racket, scared the little guy half to death. When I fixed her wagon and gave him a place to hide.
Julius carefully places a china castle in the gravel. Spot swims into it. Julius grins through the glass. Dissolved back to present, Julius's stoop. Julius takes a puff off his stogie.
But that dame, she don't respect a man's privacy, no sir. Yesterday, I'm at the doctor. She turns up the heat.
In the tank?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Who knows? By the time I got home, Spot's lay down on the carpet, dead as a doornail. You know, the water was over 100 degrees. I guess he jumped out of the tank. Imagine what it must have been like in there when the better option is to kill yourself.
Where's the body?
She flushed him down the toilet.
I have an idea. It might cheer you up some.
Exterior Julius's house. The redhead, in dark sunglasses and a white silk shirt, backs down the driveway in her Mercedes, cruises off. Tess, dressed in black, sneaks up to the front door, gives a secret knock. Julius peeks through the curtains. Exterior Julius's backyard. Close-up rock used as a headstone. In nail polish. Spot. One swell fish. Tess and Julius stand in a flower bed next to a swimming pool. Tess recites a funereal prayer. Julius sniffles. Time cut. Interior living room night. Ding dong. Diane peeps through the peephole. The redhead waits, impatient on the stoop.
Can I help you?
Relax. I'm not selling anything. I'm your neighbor from the store.
The two couples.
Yeah. So he had to say to the congregation, because he tried to stop them doing that, this and that. Repent, didn't. So he on the pulpit, he stood up and said, "Hey, these guys are playing around. Right. I have to kick them out."
Their
right?
sound on,
so
and
they
we
kicked
can't
them out.
hear.
But the day turned around and they sued the church, $3 million. Okay. And the church lost.
I don't know what to do.
The church was behind him.
Right.
So they rebuilt
Because
it. You know
that's
what I mean?
that's their belief.
supposed to.
Right. That's their belief
Yeah,
system.
That's the way
Who
it's
is talking on the Zoom?
So,
But they don't care about women. You know, the church doesn't really care about women and children.
Melissa
They're
Bizzani,
supposed to, but they
you have
don't.
their-
I was able to turn them off.
Thank you. Okay. So we are, we'll start with, sorry guys. All right. The show must go on. Interior living room night. Ding dong. Diane peeks through the peephole. The redhead waits, impatient, on the stoop.
Can I help you? Relax, I'm not selling anything. I'm your neighbor from next door.
Diane opens the door.
I thought you looked familiar. Well, I'm also an actress.
She fluffs her bouffant hair with her long red nails.
You know the old fart who lives with me?
You mean Julius?
Yeah, he's gone missing.
Did you say Julius is missing?
Since Thursday afternoon. Have you seen him, little girl?
The name's Tess.
Charming.
I don't know where he is.
I change his diapers, and this is the thanks I get. If either of you see him, tell him to get his butt home pronto.
She flounces off. Diane closes the door.
I don't trust her.
Me either.
I think he ran away from home.
If he did, I wouldn't blame him.
Neither would I.
Exterior Tess's house. Another day. Interior mailbox. The door drops open. Tess's face appears. It's empty.
That's it. I give up.
Interior Tess's living room. Tess drops her backpack on the living room rug.
Tess? The mail came. There's something addressed to you.
She wags an envelope. In the corner, printed in gold type, Metro Goldwyn Mayer Studios.
Will you read it to me? I'm too nervous.
Sure.
She slits open the envelope.
My hands are shaking.
Mine too.
Diane scans the contents of the letter.
I lost, right? I lost, didn't I, Mom? Say it!
You lost, baby.
I figured.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. This is what's killing me.
Why don't you go wash up for dinner? We're having ragu.
Interior bathroom. Tess looks in the mirror as she washes her hands.
Guess I'm a loser.
Watch it. That's my daughter you're talking about.
Interior kitchen night later. On the stove, red sauce bubbles. Tess throws spaghetti at the ceiling. In the breakfast nook, Diane sips her wine, watches the CBS Evening News.
While millions thronged to Graceland after the untimely death of Elvis Presley, denizens of Movieland mourn another legend. Groucho Marx has died. He was 86 years old.
What did they just say?
It's Groucho, honey.
He died?
I'm afraid he did.
The bushy-browed cigar-smoking wisecracker had been in the news lately due to a protracted financial battle between relatives and Marx's girlfriend and manager, Aaron Fleming.
This is the absolute worst day of my life.
The sometime actress had been accused of alienating the star while siphoning off a sizable portion of his fortune.
Mom, please, turn it off.
Wait. Oh my God. Tess, look.
Tess turns to the TV. On screen, a red carpet photo of the redhead from next door, arm in arm with none other than Julius.
But I'll be damned.
She and Tess watch the rest of the broadcast, gobsmacked.
That is nothing at all. I have only slipped away into the next room, but ever we will to each other that we are still.
Exterior cemetery, another day. A sunny Southern California day. Diane's yellow VW bug winds through Eden Memorial Park. Headlights blazing.
I am but waiting for you. For an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well, nothing is lost.
Exterior, interior mausoleum. Car doors open and close as Tess and Diane climb out, enter the stone building, dressed in black.
One brief moment, and everything will be as it was, only better, infinitely happier forever. Amen.
On tiptoe, Tess reaches up, stuffs a bouquet of cabbage roses into a bronze vase. Close-up grave marker. Julius Henry Groucho Marx, 1890 to 1977. Fade to black. The end.
Very nice. Very poor Groucho. Oh,
Poor Tess.
poor Tess.
I never could stack 10, that Erin Fleming. She drove me crazy.
Sarah, are you Tess? Or is Tess you?
Tess is me. Yes, Tess is me, and Aiden is me, and Melanie is my mom, Ellen.
And did you actually live next door to Groucho?
We lived down the street from Erin Fleming, her house, and he used to, I guess, visit and stay with her. And my mother and I were walking the dog one day, and usually it was just me walking the dog, and we walked by this old man who used to be there, who I used to say hi to, and my mom got home with me and said, "Do you know who that was?" And I said, "No." And she said, "It's Groucho Marx." And I was a member of the Groucho Marx fan club at the time. I mean, I was a little girl, just like Aiden. So little girls, when they picture Groucho, they picture the young with the mustache and the glasses and the whole thing. They don't picture who he really is, which is an older gentleman who actually lives down the street.
Wow. Excellent. Well, very nicely done, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoyed that. Congratulations.
Oh, we must be going.
Yes. So if you could turn your video off, because I'd like to introduce the third of our 5 screenwriters, Logan Anderson. Logan, come join us. Hello, Logan. And we're going to talk about your screenplay, A Beautiful Day. Tell me about A Beautiful Day and what inspired it.
Yeah, hi. Just one thing, last name is Alexander, so I'm Logan Alexander. But
What
I
did
get
I
that.
say? Did I not say Logan Alexander?
I think Anderson, but I get that a
Oh,
lot.
no, it's right in front of me. Logan Alexander. I apologize.
It's all good. Yeah, A Beautiful Day is a sun-soaked neo-noir set against the backdrop of California, or Los Angeles, California, following a terminally ill hitman on his quest for redemption. And I wrote it while I was freelancing as a production assistant in Los Angeles and working with a lot of freelance guys that were going from set to set. And I was just really inspired by that and thought it'd be an interesting way to frame a mob story as a gig economy rather than how we've kind of typically seen mafia films where it's very glamorous and very cool. I thought it'd be more interesting to frame these guys as almost like Uber drivers and blue collar workers that go from gig to gig.
It's really interesting. Now, is this based upon any real scenarios that you came across, or is this inspired by other stories?
Yes. Well, I'm very deep in the criminal underworld, as I'm sure you can tell. No, it's very. I love the films of Michael Mann and 70s crime thrillers, like The Nickel Ride. And so this was very much my kind of ode to those gritty 70s thrillers.
That sounds fantastic. Well, I'm excited to hear it. I'll let you introduce your cast, and then you can begin the table read on your own time. Thank you.
Yes, so we have Marcella Shepard here as Sullivan, our lead, Ed Klein as the boss, Matt Newfield as Duke, and myself, I'll be playing Anthony, one of the roles, and we have Tom Fields reading our stage direction. So take it away, Tom, whenever you're ready.
Okay. This is A Beautiful Day by Logan Alexander. Into your doctor's office, day. A hunched over man sits in a stark doctor's office. This is Sullivan, Sully for short. 40s, rough around the edges. He looks like he's been praying. The door quickly opens, startling Sully as a doctor shuffles in. Sullivan's face, vulnerable for just a moment, stiffens.
What do you got for me, Doc?
X-rays of Sullivan's pancreas are slid across the desk. Interior, Sullivan's car. Hospital parking lot, later. Sullivan busts out the front doors of the hospital. Is there anyone, loved ones, friends you'd like us to contact?
No.
He makes his way towards the car. Atop the dashboard is a small dancing hula girl. Well, I can refer a list of comfortable hospice care options. Sullivan enters and we hold for an uncomfortably long beat back to us. Face hidden, but for a sliver of his eyes in the rearview mirror.
Fuck!
He lunges for the glove box, thrashes it open and pulls out a Colt 45 handgun. Sullivan shoves it under his chin in a swift motion. Sullivan pulls the trigger. The hammer drops. Clink. The 45 doesn't fire. Sullivan curiously peeks out with his left eye and releases the clip. It's fully loaded.
What?
He determinedly slides the clip back in, cocks it, and freezes. A mixed-race family with a sick child, 12, is parked next to him, eyes wide and mouths agape as they stare in horror. They peel out as Sullivan drops the 45 onto the floorboard. Bang! Sullivan instinctually ducks out of the way, covering his face with his right arm. He cautiously looks over his shoulder to the 45. The barrel is smoking. Sullivan glances up to the dashboard to see the now decapitated hula girl and a hole in the windshield. On Sullivan as he morbidly inspects the headless hula girl. Exterior, taco truck, later. Sullivan sits alone at a table. He's not eating. Duke, late 40s, only wears Hawaiian shirts, sits down across from him with a heaping plate of tacos.
Matt, I think you're muted there.
Matt, you got to unmute.
And can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry, guys. All right.
Heaping plate of tacos.
So, what'd the doctor say?
Sully takes out a cigarette, lights it.
I gotta lay off the red meats. Eat more salads.
Wolf, stick a fork in me if they ever tell me that.
Duke takes a huge bite, carne asada and cilantro dripping from his maw.
Maria, she's always raving about her tofu scramble. I can't fucking stomach that styrofoam shit anymore. It's terrible.
What's the job, Duke?
Always a straight shooter. That's what I like about you, Sully.
Duke slides a manila envelope to Sullivan.
The boss wants to send a message. No competition in the area, yada, yada. Shoot him in the face a couple times so his mama won't recognize him.
Sully isn't listening. He's focused on a half-eaten plate of chicken on the ground. It's rotting from the inside out.
Hey! Hey! Sullivan!
Sullivan snaps his attention back to Duke.
Have you ever had a gun misfire?
Duke thoughtfully chews his taco.
Is this a riddle?
Forget it.
Sullivan slides the envelope into his jacket. Duke takes a hard look at Sully. He looks haggard.
We're in a young man's game, friend. Best not to lose your edge.
I still want to talk to the boss after this gig about my future.
Future? I would have thought you knew this. But our line of work doesn't exactly come with a retirement plan with an all-expense paid vacation in Hawaii.
Most jobs don't these days.
Sullivan gets up.
Sully.
Sullivan stops, turns.
Yeah.
Lighten up. It's a beautiful day.
Duke gestures around to his surroundings and takes another bite. Exterior apartment complex, street, day. Sully's car is parked in front of a blocky apartment complex. Interior, Sullivan's car, continuous. Sullivan is scoping the building, leaned back in the driver's seat. He opens the manila envelope and pulls out a grainy photo of his target, Anthony, 30s, handsome, a paper bag, and a box of matches. Sullivan pulls the .45 from the glove box and confirms that it's loaded. He inspects the gun. It's cold metal in his hand. He slowly places it under his chin. Sully steels himself to pull the trigger when a Toyota Prius pulls into the open spot in front of him. Exterior apartment complex, street, continuous. Anthony peels a driver, Uber or Lyft sticker off his windshield, holds it in his hands and takes a deep breath. Interior, Sullivan's car, continuous. Sullivan watches as Anthony pulls a grocery bag from the back seat. With a sigh, he lowers the .45 and slips it into the paper bag to conceal the gun. Exterior apartment complex, street, continuous. On the strike of a match, as Sullivan steps out of the car and drops the burning photo of Anthony. Interior apartment complex, continuous. Anthony approaches the front door, punches the code with his free hand, and enters. Sullivan silently dashes up to the door and slips through unnoticed. Sullivan creeps down the hall just out of view as Anthony turns a corner. Sullivan quickly follows and is almost hit by a couple, 20s, as they exit their apartment.
Excuse me?
Sullivan peeps around the corner to see Anthony fumbling with his keys. He pulls the .45 from the paper bag and begins to approach as Anthony pushes the door open. Sully's eyes go cold, like a shark devouring his prey. Anthony looks over his shoulder just as Sully is almost on top of him. Anthony drops the groceries as Sully pushes the barrel of the gun forcefully into his cheek. Sully takes him by the back of the head and pushes Anthony inside, slamming the door shut behind them. Milk spills out of the grocery bag onto the concrete.
Wait!
Interior, Anthony's apartment, continuous. Sullivan pistol whips Anthony across the face, sending him to the floor.
Shut the fuck up!
Sully cocks the .45. Anthony cowers behind his hands. He pulls the trigger. Clink.
What the hell?
Anthony pops open an eye. The .45 didn't fire. Sully tries again, aims and pulls the trigger. Nothing. He pulls the trigger again. It doesn't fire. Anthony is frozen in fear as Sully repeatedly pulls the trigger. Clink, clink, clink.
Oh, fuck it.
Sully tosses the gun, hits Anthony in the face.
Please, no, I'm fucking broke. I have nothing.
Sully wraps the belt around Anthony's neck, tightens it in his grasp. Sully drops next to Anthony, strangling him. Then Sully sees something. He releases his grip and Anthony falls to the floor, gasping for air. Sully drifts over to the mantel and picks up a framed photograph from what appears to be a small shrine.
Is anyone else here?
No, I'm alone.
How long?
Anthony isn't sure what to say, so he just says,
What?
How long was she sick?
Anthony looks up to see Sullivan at the mantel. His brow furrows. We finally see the photo. It's Anthony and Sam, his wife, in a hospital room. She is bald, frail, but joyous in her eyes as she is held by Anthony.
8 months. By the end, she was just tubes and wires.
Did she ever ask you to make the pain go away?
Anthony and Sullivan lock eyes.
No, she fought.
Always expected to go out like this. Quickly. Just blam and lights out.
Anthony shivers at the thought.
But I'm rotten from the inside out. And I haven't done a good thing in this life. And I don't know if I have any time to make up for it.
Sullivan gets up and places the photo back on the mantel, along with a series of photos chronicling Anthony and Sam's brief but loving relationship. Anthony watches as Sullivan picks up the .45 and halts before the window for a long beat. Then,
"Hey, Anthony."
Yeah.
"It's a beautiful day."
He exits, leaving a bewildered Anthony to look out his window. It truly is a beautiful day outside. Interior apartment complex continuous. Sully walks down the hallway. A pleasant smile grows across his face. Behind him, Anthony runs into the hall, sees Sully, and sprints in the opposite direction. Exterior, suburban ranch house, day. Sullivan pulls up in front. This nondescript ranch house would fit in anywhere, save for the barbed wire fence and oddly placed surveillance cameras. Sully approaches the front door and is stopped by a large, suited man. Sullivan. Interior, dining room, continuous. A plate of red meat is set before the boss. 70s, bespectacled and intimidating, and Duke. Several other high-ranking mob lieutenants line the table. Sullivan enters to the applause of the men. Duke raises a glass.
Cheers, Sully.
The men and the boss raise their glasses.
Salute. Have a seat.
The boss motions for an open seat at the end of the table across from him. Sullivan takes it.
So, did you do him real good? Brains on the wall and all that?
"Who was he?"
John Carlo's kid. He's not even in the game, but his pappy was encroaching on my territory. And well, the rest is history.
The boss flashes a wicked smile. Strings of bloody meat hang from his yellowed teeth.
You look hungry, Sully.
A butler sets a plated filet mignon before Sullivan.
"I got a feeling I won't like what I hear next."
Sully, this is a gig economy. You get a job, you do it, and you're on to the next one. No one has long contracts anymore. It's inefficient. And you always got the job done. So, what do you want? Bigger paycheck? I can do that.
"No."
Sullivan shifts in his seat, pulling something unseen out onto the table.
Well, Sullivan, I just can't let you go. It'd take 3 men to replace your workload. I respect you. And that's why I'm talking to you like this. Think I would do this for any other dipshit goon of mine?
"Boss, I can't."
What makes you think that this is a negotiation?
All eyes are on Sullivan. Duke has gone pale.
"Well, for one, I got an M1911 Colt 45 pointed at your nuts."
A muffled clink from under the table as Sullivan cocks the hammer. The lieutenants quickly go for their guns. The boss doesn't move an inch. Duke scrambles for his pistol and takes aim.
Keep cool.
You got balls, Sullivan.
They keep theirs out, and you won't.
What are you doing?
Making terms.
Well, let's hear it then.
Duke, aim still on Sullivan, gives the boss a worried look.
"I'll let the kid go."
They pay you more?
"This isn't about the money."
It's always about the money, Sullivan. If I'm not paying you, I'm killing you.
"Maybe so. But here's the deal. You're not going to hurt the kid. And you're going to let me walk out of here with an all-expense-paid vacation to Hawaii."
The men laugh, except for Duke, guns still out.
You're a funny guy, Sully. And what do I get in return? The fuzzy, warm feeling inside from doing something nice?
Something like that.
Boys, whatever happens to me, make sure he looks worse.
A beat. The tension in the room could be cut with a knife. Bang! The boss slumps over into a plate of food. Exterior, Suburban ranch house, evening. Muzzle flashes through the window. Blood splatters across the glass. The muffled echo of gunshots through the neighborhood. Then, quiet. Sullivan steps out of the house. He's covered in blood. Hand over a nasty wound in his stomach. He staggers into the street. In the distance, we see a beach. Exterior, beach, evening. Sullivan limps through the sand, the blood-red sun dipping below the horizon. On the waterfront now, he looks down at the 45. Blood runs down his arm onto the 45 and drips off the barrel onto the white sand below. A gentle wave laps onto the shore and washes the blood away. Sullivan fixes his gaze on the setting sun. The sea and sky expand forth and coalesce on the horizon. The beginning and end become one.
What a beautiful day.
Sullivan looks over the water and drops the 45 as he collapses onto the sand. The sunset turns a beautiful crimson. Sullivan's body lays at the water's edge as the ocean ebbs and flows around him. The end.
Excellent. That was really great, guys.
Well done, gentlemen.
Thank
well
you.
done.
Very well done. Thanks. Thank you very kindly. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to be moving on. I'd like to introduce the fourth of our 5 screenwriters, Lisa Tedesco, and her screenplay Josie's Date with Death. Now, it sounds like a horror film, but I have a feeling it's not. Can you tell us about Josie's Date with Death?
It's like literally what the title says. A girl named Josie goes on a date with death in Reno, Nevada, and such our story unfolds.
Is this kind of, does she find death through a matchmaker or through other scenarios, or?
So she is on a dating website called Mythical Meetup, where basically it's normal and basically seen around the world as normal for humans to date mythical beings if they choose to. So it's a dark comedy. It's gonna, I mean, I think we're gonna have some fun with this one here.
I think so too. Opposites attract, I think. In the
Oh
case
yeah. Oh yeah.
When I was reading the character breakdowns, it seems really, really interesting. All right. Well, let me pass it off to you, and I look forward to hearing this.
Great. So for this, excuse me, for this we have Tom Fields, Stacey Raymond, Leah Raymond, Amanda Shea, and Leo Mottler. And when you guys have your audio and camera, thumbs up, and I will leave you to it because I'm not going to be reading the actions. So I'll mute.
Okay, it looks like we're all ready to go. Thumbs up, guys. Okay. This is Lisa Tedesco's Josie's Date with Death. Exterior, Reno Desert, day. Black combat boots trudge through the barren Nevada desert. Death wears a long black robe, sickle dragging behind, leaving a small path in the dirt. Tilts up from behind to reveal the hooded being. A ping ping is heard from beneath the robe. They stop abruptly and reach into a pocket. A phone is pulled out. The screen shows Mythical Meetup, new match. A black gloved hand slides the lock bar over. Josie, blonde, wearing a rocker tee, cut at the neck so it's off the shoulder and holding a ukulele with a sly smirk across her face, appears. Her profile reads, Josie, 31, Reno, Nevada, job, works in the death field. Death brings the phone close, intrigued. Swipe. Second picture. Josie holds a small fishbowl with a beta inside. Me and my homie, Shirley. Swipe. Back to first photo. Nervous hesitation, finger hovering. Swipe right. It's a match. Death puts the phone away and produces a small fan. It blows in their hooded face. Walking resumes. Boom out, Reno skyline. Interior apartments, early evening. The apartment is spacious. chic yet simple. An abundance of evening sun streams through open windows. Torn fishnets and sneakers walk through a bedroom door. Josie is wearing a denim skirt, an oversized collared shirt that she ties in a knot to one side, sleeves rolled. She crosses the room to her workstation. Earbuds pump out chick rock that she's having a full lip sync concert to. Shirley swims in her bowl on the desk next to a small dish of half-smoked joints and a Bic. Josie holds up her fist, pretending it's a microphone, to serenade her pal. She lightly taps the mouse of her laptop and rummages through the roaches to find the biggest one, bopping to the music. Josie presses the space bar to begin a slideshow. In loving memory of Miranda Jean Powell. Josie flicks the Bic and takes a hit. Exhale. She sits. The next slide pops up with the words, edited with original songs by Josie Saint-Germain, Chavez Funeral Home. Photographs of the deceased begin to appear. Ping! Her phone lights up on the desk. Mythical meetup. Death's handle appears. 3 skulls and crossbones. Josie reaches, still immersed in her one-person concert, sucking in the remnants of the joint. Death. I'm excited to meet tonight. Still on? 7 p.m., Luciano's? Josie. Yep. Josie. Knife, ghost, coffin, pumpkin, bread and wine emojis. Ping, ping. Death. Smiley face emoji. Josie puts her phone down and removes her earbuds. She lets the soft, self-composed ukulele music fill the air. She leans back in her chair, closes her eyes, and exhales her deep drag. She lets her arms fall to her sides.
Heaven forbid someone actually wants to rock out when they die.
Josie sits up in excitement, mouth watering.
Garlic breadsticks with the Parmesan flakes and Alfredo dipping sauce.
The fish just swims around, emitting bubbles to the surface.
That it's so not my scene.
Ping, ping. Death. 3 rose emojis. See you soon. Josie smirks, half smitten. Her eyes dart to her Kit Kat clock ticking on the wall. 6:30. Shit. She bolts up and out of the frame. Josie reappears a few seconds later and reaches for fish food, sprinkling a few flakes into the bowl. She slowly sinks to eye level with Shirley and takes a breath.
If I'm not back in 3 hours, you'll know why.
Josie exits frame. Slam! The front door. Exterior, Josie's apartment, continuous. Josie runs, tossing a black blazer over her motif. She throws a messenger bag across her chest and scurries down the front pathway, taking a sharp turn onto the sidewalk.
Shit!
Mrs. Wainwright, 95, neighbor, is being pushed in a wheelchair up the sidewalk by one of her 2 daughters, the other flanking her side.
Fashionably late is the new on time, dear.
Hi, Mrs. Wainwright. How are you?
Barely alive, but still kicking. Go on and get that special someone of yours.
Don't go throwing any parties without me.
Yeah, that Gaga girl is coming over.
Josie waves. She quickens her pace to a slight jog, passing her street sign, Valley Road, in her stride. Exterior, Luciano's, a few moments later. Josie peers into the window of the restaurant, nervously tapping on the glass. It's full of life, with waitstaff moving about and diners enjoying meals. She doesn't see anyone resembling the bearer of demise and doom. Josie gulps hard and stands straight. Just as she reaches for the door, a wave of first-date jitters brush over her. Nope. She turns and walks away in a hurry. The door whips open. A female voice is heard behind her. A gorgeous, feminine, non-binary person is seen wearing a tee, black boots, skinny jeans, and a light leather jacket.
Josie?
Josie stops, pivots.
How the fuck do you know my name?
Death puts their hands up.
Hey, it's me.
Josie grills Death in confusion. She grabs her phone from her bag and opens the mythical Meetup app.
You look nothing like your picture.
Oh, I just had to change. I mean, that thing gets way too hot, and it's the middle of the desert, and I mean, there are just so many people in there. Plus, I don't normally wear my work outfit out. I didn't mean to startle you.
Death puts a confident hand out for Josie to shake. Josie is stunned and frozen with disbelief.
Shut up.
I'm afraid I can't.
No fucking way.
It's true.
Don't tell me you just snatched some poor chick in the restroom who was having an allergic reaction to the scampi.
Death coyly laughs and puts their hands in their pockets.
You're adorable.
I'm serious.
No, nothing like that. This is me as you see me.
Josie stares at Death, puzzled. The host for the restaurant peers out the door.
Excuse me. Hello.
Josie snaps back to reality with the sound of the young man.
Your table is ready.
What I look like to you is different than what I look like to other mortals. I mean, people.
Death takes their hands out of their pockets and waves them down and around their body.
So I guess you wanted Death to look like this.
The pair begin to creep back toward the restaurant while the host anxiously snaps and claps their hands together.
That guy sees you as someone completely different?
Well, not at this present moment because I'm here with you, but if he was the mission of the evening, I wouldn't look like this to him. He would have his own version of me. I mean, we Deaths are very gender neutral.
Wait, there are more of you?
Oh yeah, we're everywhere.
The host is growing impatient and checks his watch. Josie and Death make it back to the door. The host stares at the pair, who aren't paying him any attention. He huffs and leads them inside. Interior, Luciano's continuous.
And you're the one that just happens to be in Nevada?
I got stationed here right after I completed DIT. That's Death in training.
Holy shit.
They arrive at their table. The host pulls out the chairs for them both and waits for them to sit before handing them menus. They both plop down in their seats. Josie and Death hide their faces from one another behind the massive menus. They sigh in the discomfort of the noisy setting.
I hear the breadsticks are legendary.
They're to die for.
The host hovers, waiting for his cue to speak. Death drops their menu down to their chest.
I see what you did there.
Your server will be right over.
Josie slowly inches her menu down below her face. She half squints at Death, signaling she has an idea. Death does the same to Josie, reading each other's minds.
You know what? We'll take a bottle of the Noir and some breadsticks with sauce to go, please.
And a piece of tiramisu.
Josie tilts her head, smiles, and shrugs. Exterior, cemetery, a little while later. Josie and Death sit on the ground, surrounded by the peaceful lull of the evening with headstones towering over them, their leftovers strewn in between. Death takes a swig of wine while laughing, almost spitting out the red liquid.
Yeah, I guess you do kind of work with me.
Josie takes a joint out of her bag and sparks it. She nods and inhales.
In theory, yes. I'm always around the dead.
I wonder if they were any of my reaps. You like it?
I mean, I take photos the family provides of their dead relatives to make a sort of silly memorial video. And I add all my own music.
Death's phone pings Toccata and Fugue in their pocket, but pays no attention.
That's so cool. Is this your first time?
Josie smirks and lets Death's attempt to get the words out.
Mythical meetup.
Is this my first time on a date with a mythical being?
Death nods, takes a sip, and hands the bottle to Josie. She puts out the joint on her shoe and takes the wine.
First, there was Chris and Jessica.
Cut to interior Josie's apartment evening. Josie is splayed out on her couch, head resting on the lap of Chris, an older, muscular, gray-bearded man in a red sweater wearing tailored jeans. Her feet lay in the lap of Jessica, a middle-aged female wearing glasses sucking on a candy cane. Chris and Jessica have their hands interlocked above Josie, resting on the couch cushions.
I only see them once a year.
Ho, ho, ho. Honey, that ho shit isn't cute anymore.
Shh, 90 Day Fiance.
The trio remain glued to their Netflix and chill session. Cut to exterior cemetery, that moment. Josie shifts to an eye-rolling, annoyed look. Death leans back on their arms, listening intently.
Then Tammy.
Cut to interior Josie's bedroom night. Josie sits up in bed, covers draped over her naked body. Tammy, muscular and blonde, wearing fairy wings and a crown, donning a magic wand in one hand, stands in the doorway.
We were all fine, having a grand time until...
Tammy sprints to the bed and flings the covers over their head. A pair of 3-inch stilettos and long legs stick out from the bed bottom. Josie's head tilts back and she begins to moan softly. The pleasure is interrupted and Josie bolts her head upright.
Watch the teeth.
The mound beneath the covers travels upward to Josie's chest. The comforter retracts and Tammy giggles, showing all their pearly whites like a Crest commercial on Josie's stomach. Cut to exterior cemetery. That moment, Death grumbles, feeling Josie's pain. Josie passes the wine.
Noob. I know, right? Oh, last one was a few weeks ago.
Josie takes a deep breath and lets her mind take her back. Cut to interior Josie's bedroom night. Josie is in the throes of passion, mounted atop someone in her bed, rocking back and forth to an unheard rhythm.
We were, you know...
Dark-skinned arms emerge and wrap around Josie's waist. She moans, and then...
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh.
Josie reaches her orgasm, then collapses upon the body beneath her. She rolls over and lays, out of breath, on her pillows and pulls her blankets to her chest. An arm reaches for her, and a young, smoking hot woman comes into frame to snuggle up to her.
I love it when you scream my name.
The pair nuzzle up and close their eyes. Cut to exterior cemetery. That moment, Death stares at Josie, mouth open, totally impressed. Josie shrugs, then falls back in the cool grass.
So to answer your question, this ain't my first rodeo.
Toccata and fugue. Death lies back so that their heads are slightly touching.
This is my first time trying it.
This might be my last.
Stoned laughter erupts.
No, nothing like that. I'm not into the whole U-hauling after the second date thing.
No, you mean after the first date.
Ah.
There's a silence that takes over. Death begins to slide their hand out and over, hoping Josie's will do the same. Josie's hand moves into the empty space between them. Their fingers touch, then interlock. They lay there, silent in each other's presence, waiting for a sign. Toccata and fugue. Josie doesn't pretend not to notice anymore. She retracts her hand and crosses her arms.
Seems important.
Come on, this is my night off.
Death produces a phone from their pocket. A message reads, reaping alert, 261 Valley Road. Death shoots straight up and off the ground. Josie sits up.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry.
Hey, I mean, the rest for the wicked, right?
Death feels the sting of Josie's disappointment.
I have to go reap.
It's okay, I get it. Oh.
Death mouths, I'm sorry. They sprint to the front of the cemetery, black robe reappearing over their body as they run. Josie splats back down into the grass with a guttural groan. Exterior, Josie's apartment night. Josie slowly walks down her quiet street, letting her shoes trudge the gritty sidewalk, small paper bag in her hand. She notices one of the funeral home vans parked in front of Mrs. Wainwright's house. The front door is wide open. Josie stops and peers across the street. Two co-workers emerge, pushing a gurney with a full body bag. Mrs. Wainwright's daughters follow behind. They're clutching one another, clearly distraught and upset.
Oh, no.
She went peacefully.
Josie jumps, turns around to see Death behind her, sickle in hand, face exposed, with Mrs. Wainwright standing beside them. She looks at her neighbor and feels a twinge of sadness.
She has something to tell you before she goes.
Mrs. Wainwright steps forward and takes Josie's hands in hers. She slips a piece of folded paper into Josie's. She cups Josie's chin and smiles. She's at peace. Mrs. Wainwright turns to face Death again, who offers her their arm. Death and Mrs. Wainwright begin to walk out of frame.
Cute.
look just like Clark Gable.
Death smiles and turns over their shoulder.
Be right back.
Josie nods. She opens the bag and produces a breadstick. She puts half in her mouth and begins to chew. Death and Mrs. Wainwright exit frame. Josie turns her attention back to the house. The co-workers and daughters are talking softly. Josie steps off the curb into the street. She takes her phone from her bag and revisits Death's profile. She paces while strolling through the info.
Fuck me.
Only if you insist.
Leave hell. Jesus, you're good at that.
Hey, I'm Death.
They slowly walk toward her.
I want to apologize for running off.
Duty called.
Death reaches Josie in the street.
It's still shitty to do when you and I thought we were hitting it off.
Josie drops her arms. She inches closer to Death.
You'll just have to make it up to me on our second date.
Death extends their arms, softly gliding under Josie's, just touching her waist.
I can do that.
Death takes a small step forward and gently kisses Josie on her lips. A soft and simple peck.
What does the note say?
Josie slightly retracts from Death's arms and unfolds the paper from Mrs. Wainwright. She smiles.
Let's rock out.
Josie inches forward again, throwing her arms around Death.
Do you have another name? Like, if someone was to ask, who's calling me, do I say, oh, just my boo Death? Or do you have something else to go by?
I was playing with the name Cam. Can, staying neutral.
I love it.
They share a smile and kiss under the streetlights. Boom out above the street. The car departs down the road while the lights of the row glow in the evening sky. Fade to black. Toccata and fugue. The end.
Yay, very nice. Very nice. I really want to see this one. I want to see them all, but I want to see this story, how it all plays out. Excellent. Very well done. And now I'd like to introduce the fifth and last of our 5 screenwriters, Jeffrey Morin and his screenplay, The Breathing Moon. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hello, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So tell me more about The Breathing Moon and what inspired it.
Well, The Breathing Moon is my response to the COVID virus that's out there. It kind of hit Wisconsin in the middle of March. And near the end of March, my daughter called and she said that she had flu-like symptoms along with some other symptoms that were out there. And then she also mentioned that her youngest son came down with a fever that lasted 3 days. So instantly I kind of was sucked into it, and kind of had to deal with this. What if this actually happened? And so this response isn't really about COVID-19. It's not about the sickness. It's not about the hospitals. It's something that you see every day on the news. I'm sure everybody is feeling it. It kind of just hangs over you like a fog. It's more of a way that a father cares for his children and how he helps them escape from some of what's happening. So I just would like to go into the story and kind of let it speak for itself, if that's all right.
Oh, excellent. Can I share the style of the show?
It's an animated, I assume that it'd be an animated piece. So I have actors that are older, but reading for children. So, but you can't really tell when it's animated. So,
sure.
Yep.
So we'll all imagine that this is an animated.
Correct. Yes. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it. Take it away.
All right. What we have is Ryan Nelson reading the part of Marco. And Ryan, are you on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Allison Chickarell reading the part of Brina.
Hi.
And she's with Danny Pulaski reading the part of Benicio. And they're together, they're a couple, so they're able to share a Zoom session, but you guys are both on, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Hi. Very good, very good. And then the girl with the golden voice is Pamela Stace, and she's our narrator. Pamela, are you on? I hope.
Yeah.
Pamela? Can you hit the mute or the video? Let's just see if she's...
And here I had her turn her camera off before. Oh, I'm not even seeing her in the chat.
Yeah, I don't see her in the room either, so...
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, I think then I'll be reading the part of the narrator since she is not on, so we can begin.
All right.
Fade in, exterior evening sky night. In the twilight blue of an evening sky, diamonds twinkle as the stars are stretched round and about a glorious full moon. This is Mama Moon, an elegant lady with large eyes, long lashes, a button nose, and a smile as bright as the moon allows. Sound of breathing.
And here she is. Can you see her, Mama Moon?
Where, Papa?
Outside, little darling. Outside in the sky of night.
I see her. I see her, Papa.
She is a lovely moon, don't you think, Benicio?
One seagull floats over the face of the moon. She smiles as the bird dips and rises, as if to wave hello.
Yes, she is lovely.
Oh, there she is. I think she's smiling at me, Papa. Does the Mama Moon smile?
Yes, she does. The smile is for you, her daughter, Brina.
Oh, and me too, Papa?
Of course you too, her little man, Benicio.
Big man.
Yes, big man, Benicio. She smiles with the joy that her two little globes are settling down to sleep.
I like being a globe.
Can you tell us her story again, Papa?
Interior hallway, night. The hallway of the small apartment is covered with photos of the two children, parents, and brightly colored pictures the children painted. Marco, 32, the father leads his adorable children, Benicio, 6, and Brina, 4, through the hall as Penny Lane, the small shepherd dog, follows.
Mama Moon was a lovely, lovely lady who shone so brightly upon all the animals.
Not you, Papa. Papa, you can tell the story again, right, Papa?
Yes, of course I can. But your brother had a great start. That was grand, Benicio.
Thank you, Papa. But you can tell it. You are better with the voices.
The voices of the night, the howling winds and stars and clouds, and every bird and animal that soared or roamed beneath her.
Now at the end of the hallway, they enter the master bedroom.
In here tonight, Papa?
Interior master bedroom, night. The room is small, with a bed center of a large window, a dresser, a chest of drawers, and 2 French doors from the balcony that are open, allowing the breeze to blow the sheer curtains. The moon shines bright on the other side. A small porcelain lamp of 2 children at play is lit on the dresser, and 2 golden wedding rings lie next to the lamp. Marco kneels down to kiss the girl and then the boy.
Yes, in here.
Both of us?
All of us.
The 2 dive into the bed, tossing pillows and crawling beneath the multicolored comforter. Penny Lane dives in and starts to play with the children and dig into the comforter. Both laugh.
What are you doing? Stop it.
Marco dives between the 2, and Penny Lane jumps off to find her place by the French doors. The moon reflects off the crystals of her collar. Marco removes his phone from his pants, holds it to his ear, and whispers.
Are you there?
He places the phone on the nightstand and pulls out a book of sketches. He opens the book to a beautiful full moon. Benicio holds a large dragon up and watches it fly through the evening sky. Brina holds an angel and moves it as if it were to soar around the full moon.
Ready, Papa?
Ready?
Yes, yes, yes. So there she was, as full as a moon can be, there in the sky as wide as all heaven itself, smiling, glowing, as every creature round and about the earth moved with joy in her light.
See the animals, Papa.
We'll do the animals.
Marco performs as many animal sounds as he can. Much to the delight of the children, Penny Lane barks, then tucks her head back down when she sees they are playing. The sound of a seagull is heard from the other side of the French doors.
What, you forgot the frog?
Did I?
Yes, you did, Papa.
Benicio imitates the frog.
Ribbit! Ribbit!
Marco smiles. Brina smiles. Marco continues to turn the pages of the sketchbook to follow the story.
And there, in the silence of the night, Mama Moon began to breathe.
Sound of breathing.
I hear her breathing.
Yes, the breathing moon.
Brina sits up in bed and looks intently at the moon. Exterior, evening sky, night. Mama Moon winks at the girl and continues to breathe in and out as the gull passes further away.
I see her breathing, Papa. I see her.
Oh, yes, yes. In and out.
Benicio sits up and squints his eyes to see the moon.
In and out. In and out.
Sound of breathing.
Until all the world was sound asleep. The breathing moon was diligent in care to soothe and calm the world.
What's diligent, Papa?
It means with purpose. It means she cared for the world because she loved the world.
I love the moon too. She's very pretty and makes me happy.
A tear slips down Marco's face and falls on the sketch. He pulls Brina close to his heart and kisses her head. Sound of breathing.
And then what happened? Did she have an adventure?
Exterior Earth, night. Mama Moon moves over the earth, following the actions of the story. Wherever she travels, a trail of light follows, leaving behind an effervescent glow.
After all the world had fallen asleep, the breathing moon began to dance round the diamond stars of the sky, up over the mountains, and all around the many fields of the earth.
Mama Moon hovers above a river, then slowly drifts along as if afloat, with silver light trailing behind her. A bunny is near.
If I were a bunny by the river, I'd go and watch her while I eat a carrot.
Interior master bedroom, night. Marco comes close to Brina and nibbles her ear as if eating a carrot. He laughs and tucks into him. The sketch is of a small bunny under the full moon.
And the dragon, Papa. Where's Butali the dragon?
Ah, yes, Butali was there, on the other side of the mountain.
Butali wants to meet the moon. He wants to show her his tail and take her to his home.
Marco takes Benicio's dragon and moves him over the bed and higher as a shadow against the moonlit sky.
I, Butali, dragon of the underworld, seek the moon to pull her from the sky to the lands below, and far away from all we know.
Yes!
I don't like Butali.
I do. He's fantastic.
We need the breathing moon to light our underworld, to shine upon the cold and darkness of the trolls, snakes, and beetles.
Beetles!
She ducks under the covers. Benicio laughs. Marco smiles, then pulls the covers back a bit. She refuses to come out.
The breathing moon loved them all. Beetles and snakes, trolls, and even Butali.
Brina's head comes up.
Did she, Papa?
Yes, she loved and agreed to go with him.
With Butali to the underworld?
Yes.
But I don't want her to go down there, Papa.
Sound of breathing. Marco pulls her up into his arms.
Sometimes we have no choice, Brina. Sometimes we have to follow another path to help those who may need some light.
I want her to stay in the sky so that I can see her every night. Whenever I look out the window, I want to see the breathing moon.
Her tears spill onto the sketchbook. Marco takes her angel doll, lifts her high above their heads, then down to kiss Brina. She takes the doll and returns the kiss.
Ah, my little angel. Of course you will see the breathing moon when she is there in the sky. But as you know, some nights she is not there. Some nights are clouded, and yet we know she is there.
How do we know, Papa?
Yeah, how do we know?
Because she was there, and once you were, you will be again.
Interior, beneath the earth, night. The darkened caverns and valleys beneath the earth start to shine as the moon passes. Butali follows.
The many creatures of the underground come from beneath rocks and around stone to see her as she passes. Butali follows, swishing his large dragon tail behind him as they move.
Oh, that is so good. Swish, swish.
I love the breathing moon. Is she still breathing, Papa?
Marco stops for a moment. He's completely silent. Sound of breathing.
Yes, and you know, my little two, that she will return to you.
The creatures smile as they pass. Benicio now makes the sounds of the creatures of the underground. Interior master bedroom night. Penny Lane lifts her head. Brina lays on Marco's chest. Clouds have covered the moon. Benicio has Butali curled up beneath both of his arms.
But for now, she had to go with Butali to lighten his home, to help the trolls and the snakes and the beetles smile.
A smile is nice. That means they love her. Is that right, Papa?
Yes, they do love her.
And they were happy she came, right?
Indeed. And as she danced her way to the center of the world, beneath the earth, in the underground, she began to breathe aloud, in and out, in and
Sound of breathing.
Out. In and out.
until all the underworld was asleep.
Oh.
Butali was pleased at her visit. He kissed the moon's cheek, and she smiled.
And then?
And then, Papa?
There are tears in Marco's eyes that glisten as the moon comes from behind the clouds. The children smile. Sound of breathing.
And then it was time for bed.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's late.
Okay, Papa, time for bed.
He kisses the head of each child.
Night, Papa.
Night, Angel.
Night.
Good night, little man.
Big man.
Big man.
Sound of breathing.
Night, Mama Moon.
We miss you.
We love you.
Marco places the sketchbook on the nightstand and takes the phone, holds it closer to the children. Marco comes from the bed, holds the phone to his ear. The breathing is louder, as if from a machine.
She says good night.
The two children close their eyes and fall off to sleep. Marco takes the phone and walks past Penny Lane and out onto the balcony. Exterior balcony of apartment, night. It is a small balcony of a large building of many more. There are a few men and women out as well, each silent and motionless in the moonlight. Marco sits on floor of the balcony, arms curled around his legs, phone pressed tightly to his ear.
We love you, Mama Moon. Keep breathing. Please keep breathing. Don't leave us. Please don't.
He starts to sob. Penny Lane comes to his side, licks his hands that cover his face. Exterior, evening sky, night. The breathing moon shines bright in the evening sky as diamond stars flicker around her. She is breathing quite heavily now. As tears fall from her eyes, they shimmer and sail through the sky as falling stars. Exterior, balcony of apartment, night. The light of the falling stars shimmers upon the balcony and covers Marco and Penny Lane. Aglow, they stand and smile at the breathing moon.
Good night, my darling breathing moon.
Sound of breathing. Fade out.
That was wonderful. That was really wonderful. Very moving. Congratulations. That was fantastic. I would like to invite everybody to turn their video on now and to turn their microphones on. We want to see everybody. Come on back. I would love to have you all thank me. Sorry, have you all join me in thanking the screenwriters collectively.
Thank you.
Thank you. For their wonderful work. And also thank you to the team that read all of the scripts that were submitted. There were quite a lot, and they did a great job in selecting these 5. If we can, I just want to grab a little video, because this is one of the very first big events that we've had here at the festival. If everybody could look in their cameras and just wave and say DC Shorts on the count of 3, okay? 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
DC Shorts.
DC Shorts.
DC Shorts.
Let's give them a second round of applause. You did a really great job. I'm so lucky to be able to be here and hear all these great stories. So now I'd like to pass the proceedings back to Joe Belancio, who's going to take it from here. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What'd you think? Wasn't that brilliant? Is that what you were expecting?
It was great. Fantastic.
Do you have all your roles picked out?
Yes. Yeah, I have all the roles that I want to play.
All right, because hopefully these will all happen soon or down the line, and your phone will be ringing.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Thanks again. As Hugh said, remarkable work. Josh, Sarah, Logan, Lisa, Jeffrey, thank you. It's so funny because I know all your work. I've read them all, yet it was like, seeing them for the first time. So that's, a great nod in your cap as well as your actors. Thank you for all of the actors. And I've seen many of you through the years, and some of you are new to me, but you're all brilliant. And again, I think when I'm reading these, I'm reading them as I think they should be. And then you hear other people do the roles and it's like, oh, it's almost a completely different, yes, it is the word, but there's so many variations of what the word can be presented. And I'm just, again, I'm continually amazed. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to anyone who may not have been an actor or a writer. Thank you for joining us. And remember, it's important to vote, and there's a $2,000 award at stake, as well as automatic entry the year that the film is completed into the festival. So that's another thing that hopefully is important to all of our screenwriters. But again, I can't thank you enough. I'm going to turn it over. Speaking of vote. I think you can vote twice now, right? Isn't that what we've been led to believe? You can vote in person and then...
No, in fact, I have something to say about that.
Peter Morgan, our wonderful executive director.
Joe, thank you so much. Hugh Heisel, you were amazing. I appreciate it very much that you're here. Screenwriters, how fun. I mean, it was, for you all, it must be amazing to watch your characters come to life. Because like Joe said, I've read this before, but it's very different when you're watching a table read and the characters come to life, and the actors were fantastic. So thank you. Now the voting. being that so much is different this year, the voting will be different this year than in previous years. We're going to be emailing the votes in. That they will be coming to an account that I created just for this event. It is vote@dcshorts.com. In case you forget that, it's going to be on the Facebook page, tacked to the top of the feed. And once this video ends, we'll be putting it onto Facebook as soon as we can. It takes a little while for it to process. Then from tonight through next Wednesday night at midnight, people on Facebook can view and read the directions on how to vote, send their vote in for their favorite screenplay to vote@dcshorts.com. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you. In that case, we are done. This was so amazing. I just want to remind everybody to go to dcshorts.com, check out all of the other events that are free, check out the films. We have 20 showcases from 34 countries around the world. It's $12 a showcase. And thank you again.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Joe.
And vote, like Joe said, vote, vote, vote.
We will.
Thanks, guys.
Hi,
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Very enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you all.
Did you enjoy it too, honey?